Hello my hiking friends and art-loving friends. Today I will share you the sketches I did while I was trekking the Annapurna Circuit in Nepal. So me and my mom were in Nepal for 3 weeks, and 2 weeks of that time we spent in the Nepal Himalayas trekking the Annapurna Circuit. I have a lot of video material about the hike itself, what happened during the whole time, and I am editing the material right now, so I will be uploading these videos on this channel during the next weeks. You can imagine how beautiful the Nepal Himalayas are. Well, basically it's on top of the world, so it has to be beautiful, right? It inspired me to draw a lot, and I did a lot of sketches in my small notebook here, in my sketchbook, and I picked out some of my favorite sketches and I put them on my Etsy shop. Most of the time I sketched in the evening when we were waiting our food to arrive in the lodges, because in the lodges people are preparing the food for you from scratch, so it is really usual for you to wait your food half an hour, 45 minutes. So it was a perfect time to sketch these landscapes and places I took pictures of during the daytime, and I just used those photos in my phone or camera as a reference. Besides using this small sketchbook, it's a watercolor sketchbook, moleskin one, I was using a Winsor & Newton watercolors. These watercolor pens, water goes in here and you just push it out, so you don't have to deal with water jars on the trail. It is really comfortable way of hiking with watercolors. And then I had 3 waterproof like pens that I used for drawing black lines, and I had a pencil with me and a small eraser or rubber. Okay, now I will show you the sketches that I picked out. So these are the prints that you can order from Etsy. They are A5 sized and printed on this really gorgeous textured high quality paper with high quality print. This landscape was something that we saw, I think it was our 3rd day of walking, and it was the first day that we properly saw these snow-covered peaks. And for me it was so mesmerizing, because I haven't seen snow-covered peaks like this before, and I was just walking and I was in total awe all the time. And actually we were walking the other direction, and at one point I turned around and I saw this sight, and immediately I took a picture, and yeah, I painted it later. This small painting is one of my favorites out of them all, and it has a lot of emotions attached to it, because on this day we had just finished a really hard climb. We were climbing up a really steep hill and the elevation was quite high already, and we were panting and the pace was really slow, and we were walking on quite a leveled path. And I made a video about my mom, this is my mom here, walking on this trail, and when I later looked at it from my phone, I was blown away how beautiful that sight was, and I didn't realize it while I was on the trail there in real life. It really looked like we were walking on the edge of the world, and I managed to capture it on this picture as well. I think this for me describes my Nepal experience the most, like the gorgeous mountains, the hillsides, and my mother walking. On this painting here you are seeing a really traditional Nepal mountain village, and the trail itself passed through many villages and small towns, and they were all sort of the similar way, built with these flat roof houses, and the colorful flags on the picture are actually Tibetan Buddhist prayer flags. And there were 2 kinds of prayer flags. One were these upright flags, and the other ones were the flags attached to a string, and you could see a lot of them also on the trail. And I did paint these flags on this painting, And this is also the heart and soul of Nepal for me, seeing those prayer flags everywhere and bringing color and joy to this sometimes a bit depressing sight of seeing abandoned villages, abandoned houses. And also in the upper elevations the vegetation is really small and plain and brown, so seeing those colorful prayer flags along the way brought a lot of joy into the day. I also like this painting a lot because it reminds me of the Buddhist way of life and the Tibetan vibe that was really strong in the mountain villages. Talking about things in the mountains, well, we saw a lot of yaks there, and this was a really fun sight. We were walking again on a really narrow trail along one side of the mountain, and suddenly we saw some yaks standing in front of us on the trail. As we approached, they went away, but one yak stood right in the middle of this gate, and it was so funny. It looked like the devil guarding its gate because they have really big horns. And the last painting I will be releasing from my Nepal trip is this one. This painting was made on the 12th day of walking, so we were close to ending our trek altogether, and I remember my mom was really tired. It was this gorgeous landscape, like a field or meadow and big mountains in the background, and I remember asking my mother, like, do you want to make a break here, because I saw she's sort of slow. And I remember my mother telling that no, she is tired, but if she would stop now and rest, it would be several times for her to stand up again and start walking. So we just continued to walk. So this picture reminds me the fact that even if you are walking on a really beautiful landscape, you still get tired and you are still just a human. You can get all of these 6 new sketches on my Etsy shop. I will put the link below. Also for the holiday season I am selling on my Etsy shop my granny's handmade woolen mittens and socks. I just added a bunch of dog wool mittens and socks there because the first batch sold out quite quickly. If you want to know why my granny uses dog wool on some products, I did a separate video about it, so I will link it here and also put a description link there below. If you have watched until so far, it means you are a true fan, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for you I have also a special new surprise. I have a PO box now. Many of you have asked me if I have one, and now I do. I will keep it open during the holiday season, and after that I will just decide if I keep it open or not. But until that time you can send me your letters or holiday cards or whatever you want. I will put the address down in the description box below so you can check it out. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, let me know by clicking the thumbs up button. In the meantime, go for a hike because life is so much better in hiking shoes, and I will see you really soon. Bye!